Hey, Andy, welcome. Good evening to you as well. Hope everything is going well across the pond. Welcome, everyone, to today's live stream, episode number 45 of our Baldur's Gate 3 Honor Mode gameplay series. I'm Commander Jorval, and I want to thank you for coming along on our journey today. So, nothing on admin notes for the game. We're all anxiously awaiting the full release of patch 8. They're still in the stress test, and there hasn't been any further updates, but we'll keep an eye on that as we go. So, on our recap, at the end of last week's episode, we had taken down Answer in the Wormway, and we had come back out and started to clear out some of the side adventures in the graveyard. We're going to pick back up in the graveyard today. Then we're going to head to the Elfsong Tavern, and we're going to deal with some side adventures there, including one of our side quests to go investigate the Emperor's hideout. And then we're going to spend a little time collecting as many counting house keys as we can, and we'll kind of explore a little bit more of that as we go along here. So let's go ahead and jump in here back at the graveyard, and we'll pick up where we were. Hey, Ryder, welcome. Good to see you again. Thanks for being here. I'm sorry to hear that, Andy. I know this time of year, flu's going around and all that sort of stuff, so stay well over there and hope you get better soon. Okay, so here we are back in the graveyard. We've finished all of the kobolds. We had dealt with Nina Dortmel's brother over here. We had actually at the end finished up the little side adventure to get their daughter a casket, and now we're going to deal with the mausoleums. Hey Rudy, welcome. Thanks for being here. Good evening to you as well. And we have 3 of them plus the main mausoleum. So the first is Durhambold. Then we have Gorion here, and we have the H-Yun mausoleum here. And then there is another mausoleum, the Grand Mausoleum, which we'll also be taking a look at. But before I do that, I want to manage my action economy a little bit. I've got both of my short rests. Karlak still does have 1 rage charge, and I want to use this rage charge strategically because she only gets 1 more per long rest, and I don't want to use it in any combat inside of the mausoleums. So instead, we are going to come back to the graveyard here in a second, and we're going to head over to the Elfsong Tavern here. It's just right next door. We're going to go do something in there because there's a big combat in there that we want to deal with. And then we'll come back here after we finish that. And this is going to give us an opportunity to do a couple other things as well. So first, we'll just kind of walk around the back. The Elfsong Tavern, it's got a back door here, which is going to lead you into the kitchen. And that is where we're going to start.
The cellars are just down the stairs. There, you'll find my old lodgings.
Now, Chef Rovere here.
Damn rat. Oi, you! I thought I asked you to clean the rats out of this cellar yesterday already. Hop to it. Get in there.
This line here, a lot of people don't know about what it's for. The original Baldur's Gate 1 game, there was a character named Chef Revor. So the vowels switched in the name. Not Rovir as it is here, but Revor. It was in the prologue, and he asked you to clear out some rats. There were a couple of cats that were useless at helping to do it. And that early on in the combat, you had to fight against 5 rats. And it could be a rather sticky combat situation in the very first game. But in that encounter with him, when you talked to him, he said the almost exact same thing. That he had asked you to clear him out, and you hadn't. But in fact, you hadn't really ever talked to him before that time. So that's what this line here is from. Haven't I done this before? Because this is a throwback all the way back to a quest in the prologue in Baldur's Gate 1, the very first one.
Probably. Lots of rats in this world. Been having problems with them in cellars for the whole 20 years of my career. Oh, go on. Nothing better to practice your skills on than a few rats.
So 20 years ago was Baldur's Gate 1, so that's where that line comes from and what it's for. It's a little interesting piece of history that they've thrown in there. So now for Shadowheart, how we normally do this is we're going to cast Spirit Guardians before we go down there, and while the timer's running, immediately get into combat. Once you get down here, just end your turn. Okay, so this is an easy way also to get the accomplishment about killing multiple enemies while you're drunk. You can, before you cast Spirit Guardians upstairs, you can take and drink a bottle of wine, then cast Spirit Guardians, and while both the drunk timer and Spirit Guardians are running, come down here and do this. And all the rats that come to you and get killed, they count as being killed while you were drunk. So it's a very easy way to get that achievement if you don't already have it by now.
Seems simple enough.
Okay, now none of the rats are going to have anything on them, and we're going to look at our carry weight here real quick, okay? So we have a little bit left in my bard here, so we'll just start looking around. Okay, there are a couple of fire wine barrels over here. I think we're probably good on explosives. So I'm not going to pick any more up. Okay, and don't forget the keepsake ring here in the middle of the floor with the dead rats. It can either be here or up here. It's held by one of the rats. So it's wherever that rat dies is wherever the keepsake ring is going to drop. There's nothing special about the keepsake ring. It allows you to cast Dominate Beast once per long rest. Okay, but that's really it. In here, some more camp supplies. Okay, and we'll empty out our camp supplies. We're going to head into this room here first.
On the other side, you'll find a passageway, known only to those invited to do business.
Inside here, you're going to find a few wines laying on the ground, and then as people run around aimlessly, you're going to find a perception check for the button. You don't have to pass the perception check, that just highlights it. It's always visible.
What's inside?
We're just going to pick up the rest of the camp supplies. And the last of the wine bottles, and again, send that all off to camp. Okay, so we're going to hit the button here, and you'll see over here that opens up the secret passage in one of the wine barrels. Again, in here, just a couple of things to search real quick. Then in here, you have another button. Now this button is if you chose to enter the hideout from the back way, this button will get you into the cellar so you can make your way out. Now, here, when we go in here, we're going to get a notice. And we might have already gotten it. Yes. The psionic detector has gone off. There must be Gith hostiles nearby. And that's going to let you know that there's something you need to be prepared for in here. So we're going to break our group.
Something smells tasty.
And we're going to take Astarion in here first.
Very well then. Githyanki.
Okay, and actually, I'm going to make my way back out here because I forgot to do something. Going to take a short rest so I get all of my key points back. Because I'm going to want to use them down here. And yes, there are Githyanki down here. The main one is Chirai Harak here. She has legendary resistance. She also has supreme Githyanki parry. So unarmed and weapon attacks reduce their damage by 20. Okay, and it's once per turn. So that first attack, you want to kind of absorb that parry on a low damage attack so that the rest of your full strength attacks hit for full damage. Now, there's a way around this, which I'm going to show you here in a little bit. But the key to this is that you have two portals on each side, and you have two gate masters. Okay, one here and one here. The gate masters will keep these portals open, and Gith every turn will exit out of these portals. So you want to get rid of the gate masters as quickly as you can during this to keep the reinforcements to a minimum. All right, and to do that, I'm going to have Astarion head up to this side. There's a scout, there's a fighter, and the gate master up here. And I'm going to wait as Astarion moves through this. And I'm going to get him as close as possible while the raider and the other Gith are turned around. Okay, so I'm going to wait for the raider to turn around. Okay, so this should be good. So now I'm going to jump up here, and I'm going to jump past all of this, past the board, up here into this corner. Okay. And now I have a free shot at both the Gate Master and Zendilla here. So I'm going to get off my first attack against the Gate Master, and I'm going to make that key empowered. And I'm going to use one of my bonus actions. Or actually, I won't. This is going to be fine. I'll use my key resonating punch here against him.
Picked a fight. The consequences are hardly surprising.
Okay, that's going to drop me into combat. I rolled first. She's almost dead, and I forgot to change my passive to psionic here, because they are vulnerable to it. And then here, and what using my action does when you're not in combat is it doesn't allow you to get your second attack. So but it does give me both of my bonus actions back when they reset. So I'm going to move in here and get my bonus action key resonating punch here. Okay, now I'm going to use my second bonus action to topple. And then detonate him.
Moving.
Okay, and I'm going to come up and get up close and personal on the raider here so that their ranged attack is going to have disadvantage. Now, Karlach. Okay, Karlach has
Turn down
something
the fire.
special here. Now, Shirai Harak is a paladin. Okay, so she does have a legendary action here now that we're in combat that you can look at, and that's Tunaras Embrace. So she can use a legendary action to cast Tunaras Embrace on an ally to prevent an incapacitating condition. So basically what this is kind of like freedom of movement, but it also grants 50 temporary hit points. Okay, so you're not going to be able to stun them, paralyze them, restrain them, charm them, or anything like that. And they're going to get 50 temporary hit points. So it is a big legendary action to trigger. So before that happens, I want to make sure that I get rid of Gate Master Rizel over here. And I'm going to use Karlach to do that. Now, because the Chirai's a paladin, they're not going to be using ranged attack. She's going to want to get into melee range, and that means she's going to have to either move all the way down here to try and get to Karlach, or try and move all the way around here to get to Astarion. Neither one she's going to be able to do without a dash. So her next round of attack here is not going to be anything. So I want to throw, and I'm going to throw with Nyrolna for the extra AoE damage here, just to start off the attack round.
Ought to do it.
Okay. So now only 11 hit points left. I'm going to bring Shadowheart in here and see if I can get rid of the Gate Master with a Guiding Bolt. I prefer to use the rest of Karlach's attacks against Barracks here. Okay, so the target's too far there. I think it's always going to be too far from down there. Yep. Oh, I can get it from right here. Okay, so I'm gonna... That would be a 50-50 shot. I think I'm gonna roll it. Perfect.
I got this.
Now, remember what I said about the parry here. Okay? It's important to know, to read the exact wording of this. Parries unarmed and weapon attacks to reduce their damage by 20. So my monk punches, that first one would be reduced by 20. Weapon attacks, it's worded in a very specific way. Your melee weapon and your ranged weapon attacks are going to have their damage reduced by 20. There's something that is neither one of those, and that's a throwing attack. Okay, so I'm going to Frenzy, and I'm going to Enrage Throw.
What to do it?
Okay, and you see the Ready to Parry condition that Harak has? It's still there. And I did full damage. Throwing attacks bypass the Githyanki parry. They do full damage when they hit, and they do not have their damage reduced at all. Aww. Rolled a 3. I could only roll a 1, 2, or 3 to miss that attack, and I rolled a 3. The same thing happened in my personal playthrough, actually. I rolled a 3 again and missed with one of them. Okay, and now my Bard. And my Bard, remember, is not in combat right now.
Breathe deep and move.
And Harak has been knocked prone. So the detection cones are going to allow me to move quite a bit here. And that is what I am going to do. I'm going to move over here and try and deal with the Raider on this side. Because Harak is going to stand up. She's going to use movement to stand up. Then she's going to have to dash. So she's not going to do anything. This Githyanki up here normally will try and either jump or fly down here. And we'll get an attack, hopefully against Shadowheart. But we'll see how it works. Okay, so they're vulnerable to psychic damage, so I'm going to get a big psychic boost because of my ring, or damage boost. Okay. That was nice. I rolled a crit for 68 hit points. Yeah, look at that damage. Cold, radiant, psychic, necrotic. Plus the original 13 bludgeoning damage. Love to see all those numbers stacking up. I don't think I can probably hit
At the ready.
the Chirai from here. So here I can. I don't want a mobile flourish. I'll take a defensive flourish, though. Just in case the Chirai gets up and moves toward me. Okay, so that should up my armor class to 30. Yep.
Time for coal. This way.
Bye forever, pal.
Need to act fast.
For the Queen!
Okay, came after me. And there's the 2 misses. There's the astral step. Okay. So now, only the great sword wielder, the Chirai, is going to have the parry. So I'm going to move down here and go after the Gish again, and I'll start this off with a topple.
You're mine.
Astarion is just OP. I mean, seriously, just OP. I mean, that removed 100 hit points. Yeah, that's 1 hit. There's this. I mean, he's just OP. So let's trigger a key resonating punch. Now this is going to trigger parry. So how about we do
Behold the
this
dance of
instead?
death.
Okay, we'll make the attack here. There's the parry that got removed. So now I can
Let's have
swap
some
back to Astarion. Put key resonating punch here. Perfect. And these are the last 2.
Blackhead is relentless. You handled it well. Let us hope she exhausts her forces soon.
Okay, so easy, easy, easy.
Now search
Okay.
the room. There's
So-
a statue that conceals the way through. I'll reveal it to you.
And that's right here. The button is now available. We're going to do a little searching through this room here first. And we'll take Astarion to start, because we do want to loot the Githyanki. Everyone's going to have Githyanki half-plate, which sells for a lot of gold, and a weapon of some sort. The Chirai here has the boots of sonic movement. So when a Githyanki casts Fly, their next melee weapon attack deals an additional 1d4 psychic damage. Gives you a +1 bonus to dex saving throws, and it gives you the ability to cast Fly upon yourself. Okay. One thing I do not know about these boots is if they work with the tadpole version of Fly or not. I haven't tested them. The text would indicate that they shouldn't, because it says when you cast Fly, only your next weapon attack deals 1d4 psychic damage. You don't cast Fly when you have the tadpole. It's just always available to you. And I don't know how that would work with this. It would be broken and overpowered if you could put these boots on, have the Fly ability from your tadpole, and then every weapon attack got an additional 1d4 psychic damage, so I don't think it works that way. I think it only works when you cast Fly, either by using the Fly spell, using Fly here from the boots, or in the case of my bard, using the Fly that she gets from the Helldusk armor. So I don't think it's something we're going to be keeping, but I am going to pick them up and test them anyway.
One step at a time. I'll just help myself.
Okay, so an arrow many targets, always nice to have, and again, Githyanki weaponry. Okay, up here there's just some lore that you can pick up and read. And there's some cool stuff to read in here, but we've read it all before on previous playthroughs, so if you do want to go check it out, you can go look at some of my previous playthroughs and see. We'll head to the other side real quick. And we'll check out this gate master. And yeah, Andy, I'm going to bite starting off. I'm going to be taking a long rest here in a little bit. So I could bite right now. It'd just be, you know, a bit of a waste of time. Because I'm going to be taking a long rest and that condition will go away here in a second anyway. But yeah, I certainly will remember to do it. The happy condition is very, very useful. Okay, and then we have a silver key here. We'll see the use for this here in a second. And we should have a couple of things here on the table.
Don't mind if I do. Step lightly.
Okay, don't forget the display case.
A quick rummage.
And over here on this side, we're going to have the H-Un Mausoleum key. And this is the other reason that I wanted to come this way first, is because there's another key here that we're going to use inside the graveyard. Now, it doesn't cost you any spell powers. Both of the bites are bonus actions that you can do once per short rest. So, yeah, it's a once per short rest thing here, and since I'm going to be, and the happy condition here lasts until long rest. And since I'm going to be taking a long rest here shortly, it would just be a waste for me to use it right now. But you certainly can. It doesn't use any action economy other than a short rest.
Over there.
And then the last set of things are here on the table. And these notes.
What have we here?
And the other thing about Bite is that it only works on humanoids as well to get the happy condition. And while Githyanki are certainly humanoids, the next fight I'm going to go into here, they are not, and I couldn't be able to get the condition anyway from it.
That's curious.
So here we run into the hidden room, and I'm going to probably be going around with Shadowheart on this.
On I go.
As there are quite a few spell scrolls in here. Okay, and there are perception checks. Now these perception checks are all DC zeros, so the only way you can fail them is with a nat 1.
A shell, a keepsake from my final voyage, pinched in a moment of sentimentality.
But you can learn a little bit about the Emperor and his past life here.
My old wardrobe, the home of all my disguises. We are what we appear to be, and so appearances matter.
And inside the wardrobe, you're going to find the Cerebral set. So the Cerebral Citadel armor is heavy armor. It doesn't look like it. Really, I think this should not be classified as heavy armor. I think it should be classified as medium or light armor. But it is classed as heavy. You can't be frightened, which is nice, but we get that from Steeped in Bliss. Or not Steeped in Bliss, but from Thoroughly Stuffed. We can't be frightened anyway, so that's useless for us. Illithid Protection, if you're infested with a tadpole, which we all are, you gain +1 to all of your spellcasting saving throws. Now that's nice. That is a good bonus to have. But for a rare armor, heavy armor at that, it's not really the greatest benefit. Disadvantage on stealth checks is something you're always going to get, so this is definitely something that we're not going to use. And then the Cerebral Citadel gloves. Charm or frighten a creature to gain a 1d4 bonus to attack rolls and saving throws. So this can be quite useful in the end game if you have chosen to transform into a Lithid and you get the charm and frighten abilities that go along with becoming full Lithid, then you're gaining a 1d4 bonus to attack rolls as well as saving throws, and then it can be really nice, but again, not something that we're going to be doing. Not forgetting to pick up various things here as we search. Scroll of Conjure Elemental.
What's that?
My cutlery set. A gift from my mother. The butter knife is missing, but otherwise it looks to be complete. I don't need it anymore, but the memory stirs something in me still.
Okay, so we can pick that up, and there's going to be another perception check right here.
There she is, in all her glory. Jubelin Stelmane, my old partner. The chains I use to buy my meals. Villains and lawbreakers. You see, I tried to exercise morality where I could.
Might be useful. What's that?
An old container for brains. Empty. Shame. It would have been nice to find one to sustain me now.
Okay, so we'll do a little searching here on the shelf.
What's that?
A recipe for fiddlehead soup. A favorite meal of mine. When I had need of meals like that.
Okay, and last couple of things are over here.
Rascal's collar. My poor four-legged friend. Their lives are so brief, so simple, and yet full.
That might be worth it.
Okay, and now into the center here. We have a sword.
My old sword. My first purchase as an adventurer. No use to me anymore. It's yours, if you want it.
Okay, so the Sword of the Emperor, once you've picked up all of these things, that's going to complete visit the Emperor's old hideout. The Sword of the Emperor, this weapon deals an additional 1d4 damage against shapeshifters or polymorphed creatures. Not going to be very useful for us from now on. Could have been slightly useful against Dolor and the shapeshifters, but again, at this point in the game, you have things that are dealing much more damage than that. The wielder has a +2 bonus to saving throws against spells. Now that's really nice. That's a 10% bonus to saving throws against spells. Again, not something I'm willing to give up my damage by using this as my main weapon as I go through the rest of it. So not something we're going to focus on using.
Better get to it.
And then in here, we just have a bunch of searching we can do. So we'll quickly go through these. Pick everything up.
Now, what might you be hiding?
And then here on the table, just a few plates, bowls, things like that we can pick up. And the horrible pathing. Go ahead and climb up there again. Horrible. Okay. And now we have finished out the hideout. You can take the hatch here. We can watch where this goes. And this is what I mean by coming in the back way. Okay, so this area here, this takes us up through the hatch that's over by the Basilisk Gate. We've come down here, that leads us back up to the place we came in. This little ante-room here has some traveler's chests and stuff that we can search in it. Forgot about this. So we'll pick up the items out of here real quick, and then we'll walk through this door and you'll kind of see where we are. You can already get a glimpse of it from the mini-map. We'll pick up the last couple items here. And then head through the door. Whoops. And now you can see where we are. This passage here is where you come down into the sewers from the Heapside Barracks cells. And this side over here has the ladder in it that takes you up to the hatch. There's the ladder that takes you up to the hatch next to the Basilisk Gate. Okay, and here's the back entrance into the Guildhall. Okay, so normally this has the poisonous or nauseous fumes in here. We've turned that off utilizing the lever. But if you do make your way in here,
What's next?
and you do make your way down this way through this door, you can come into the Emperor's Hideout from the back way, as I had mentioned earlier. Okay, so we're gonna make our way back out.
I have such a headache. Best be on my way.
Because we're done in here. We're going to head back up and we're going to take care of a couple of thievery things here in...
Here goes nothing.
Oh, I'm encumbered. Not by much, though. Oh, yeah, we're going to take the... No, we're going to keep the boots. Okay, and we're going to take care of a couple of thieving things here. And to do this, I'm going to split my group. am I? No, let's stage this outside. It's easier to get to if we're doing it from outside. I'm gonna go back out. I'm gonna make my way around to the other side of the Elfsong Tavern, so that I'm out here by these doors. There's a reason that I'm doing that, and that's because I have some spell economy here. Now I'm going to use it to cast invisibility. Now, inside of here, there are two people that we want to, or three people, I should say, that we want to steal from. And there's no way to steal from them without getting seen. So I'm going to come in here, I'm going to have a few conversations, and then I'm going to start a pickpocketing spree in here, and I'll kind of show you how I do it. But first I want to talk to Lacrissa.
I need a quick word.
Well, well, look what the bugbear dragged in. Can't believe we both made it to the city, and with our limbs attached. If so, I picked the wrong place to rob. Alan's short on coppers. The counting house is screwing him over. But he was willing to hire anyone who'd work for cheap, and I am nothing if not cheap. Oh, you are smooth, hero. I knew there was a reason I missed you. I need to get back to work, but stick around. You brighten the place up.
Okay, the next thing we want to do is head through the double doors here. Now, Harvard Willoughby is one of our thieving targets, and you can see there's nowhere in here that we're going to be able to get into hiding and stay in hiding to be able to steal from him. So I want to talk to him first. Well, I want to deal with his cutscene first.
Hey, smart stuff. I'm Willoughby, the comedian. And we got a little contest here called the Laugh Riot. You want to play along? Great! I'll go first to show you how it's done, and then you can see if you can top me. Hello, Baldurians! You know, I wouldn't be here tonight, except my wife ran off with a cambium. That's right, I got fiend zoned. We used to have a drow comedian. I had to ask her to stop casting Tasha's hideous laughter on the audience. Then I asked her how many drow it takes to light a torch, and she said, none. We have dark vision. So I killed her.
The Elfsong patrons think that one's funny. There may be hope for you yet.
Your turn, smart stuff. Knock 'em dead, but not literally. Got me?
Okay, so to win this, out of these three, you start by dealing with Willoughby himself.
Got me with an ancient jest that's older than I am.
So next is going to be the one with the Dragonborn, and you can intimidate them to get them to applaud, but you don't have to.
Win or lose, I'm stealing that one.
And then the last one is the cleric one here.
Pig jokes are never wrong. Well done.
Cheers, whistles, and applause. You're almost shocked.
Yeah, you're hilarious. Now get out of here before I lose my job.
And the reason that I'm having these conversations is because some of the people that we need to steal from, including the next one here, which is Alan, sometimes they will leave to go report your crime, and as such they might not be around for a little bit after you're done with it. So I want to talk to them all beforehand.
Aye. Pull up a seat. If you can find one spare, that is. With all this talk of war, what else are folk to do but drink? I reckon the murder we'd had something to do with it too. Got punters all intrigued. On that morbid note, what can I get you fine self? I'll tell you what. The murder upstairs has brought some punters, but it's also really spooked folk out of renting rooms. If we get you staying up there, perhaps folk will calm down and realise there's nothing to worry about. You can have the whole upstairs floor until this killer thing blows over.
Okay, you can pay for it here, or we can ask for a discount.
Charity! In Baldur's Gate! Good one.
And this is going to open up a persuasion, perception, or a bard persuasion option. The persuasion option here is going to give us advantage. It is a pretty high DC, but we can only fail this with double nat ones. And we rolled our first nat 20 of the day.
Keep your voice down about the bloody murder upstairs. Top floor's all yours. If it gets a bit too noisy at night, well, don't sleep above a pub.
Okay, it's going to get us an inspiration, and it also gets us a new camp here. So now when we take our long rest, you'll see that we have moved into this location. We're going to go back here, we're going to talk to Chef Rovere, because we need to complete his quest.
You kill the rats, yes? I heard commotion in the cellar. Good. Perfect. Here, you take this. Rats, murderers. Always knew the chef gig wasn't going to be easy. Do not worry. Chef Revere's eyes will be kept peeled for murdering types.
And he's going to give us 340 gold. Now, you do get the same dialogue options to warn them about being murder targets, but that quest has already been completed, so we don't really have to worry about it as much. And next, I do want to talk to Ulrich. You don't have to talk to all the NPCs in here. They won't give you anything, but we will talk to Ulrich because he is one of our thieving targets as well.
Hello, old friend. Oh, so I assume. I used to know everybody around town, but now I'm a new man. A worried man, a playwright who lost the will to write. Now I worry no more. Can't write a word? What does it matter?
Okay, so just a couple more conversations to have, and for that, I'm going to head upstairs. Normally, you would come here as part of the Investigate the Murderers quest, but since that's complete...
Stellmane's parlor. A place to receive clients and informants. I wonder if it's as I remember it.
Since we've already done that, there's nothing that we need in here other than we can search this place.
I picked up some extra ships.
You didn't have to do that.
Wish I had a bag of holding.
Oops, I don't want to steal that.
You just focus on your music.
Bloodied ring. Guess the killer didn't want jewelry.
Okay, and there's the discarded wine bottle.
Even stranger smell.
To kind of let you know that that's what happened, is that she was poisoned, utilizing a special type of poison.
Only because I had you.
You'd have been fine without me. But the company was welcome.
And you can be careful picking stuff up here, but there are still items that you can pick up. Now, the murder map you can pick up, this is a quest item, but really all you have to do is interact with it. And that would advance the murder quest as well, but we don't need it to, because again, we've already completed that when we took care of Dolor. Okay, and now we have a roof hatch. And who do we meet but Alfira?
Ah, you found my hiding spot. Not a word to Alan. He doesn't believe in things like breaks. Or eating.
Lacrissa, I'd be more than happy to help you out at work. I could...
No, focus on your music. Besides, I'll be living a life of luxury when your school takes off. Right? I keep telling her that.
Lacrissa!
All right. The hero and I will stop teasing. For now.
I was thinking... I'll never get tired of this view.
Same here.
So, they have finally made it into Baldur's Gate. And again, a satisfying ending to all we went through to, especially as the Dark Urge, to make sure that, that Alfira made it here. Okay, pick up a couple of things here on the roof. Okay, and then we can head back down, and we will head back out front. First, let's remove our encumbrance. Oh, that didn't remove it. That did. And we'll head back down and outside. And now begins the crime spree. So there are 3 people in here that we want to pickpocket. So first, let's take an idea of which keys we have to us. This is all? I thought I had more than this. So the safe number 1 key we found in the Tsar Palace. We don't have number 2, which we'll go and get. But inside here, we are going to find number 5. Then we're going to find the vault key number 2 and the vault key number 3 in here. Okay, but to do that, again, we're going to focus on invisibility on Astarion. And Astarion's not shape-shifted, so let's make this good. So if he gets caught, not if, but when he gets caught, the attitude won't be adjusted for him. Okay, we'll put the Eversight ring on, but then we're going to change that out to the Smuggler's ring. We have... I think we have the vault key number 5. We don't have the safe key number 5. There are 3 different types of key, or 3 different groups of keys. There are the safe keys, the vault keys, and then the high security vault keys. There are 8 safe keys, there are 6 vault keys, and then there are 9 high security vault keys. And I don't know why. Oh, because, yeah. Because it doesn't say counting house in front, but we've already picked up 4 of the 9 high security vault keys. Okay. So yeah, 3 different types of keys, and we're going to be working on the safe keys here for a little bit. We'll be able to get all but one of them. So we'll cast invisibility on Astarion. We'll take Astarion in. We'll walk him over to Laugh Riot. We'll put him in hiding, and we'll pickpocket Willoughby. There's the key, and now we're immediately going to steal. We're going to hit M for map, and we're going to go to camp. Now, if we go back to our regular party here,
Swift as my feet
you can see the guard came in. Okay. We were spotted pickpocketing, and there's Harvard, or flipping out. And this is what I mean. You want to talk to them beforehand, because the game kind of weirds out with them. You see, he's no longer in here. He saw you. You'll be able to see it. See? He saw you, and he ran off to get help. So he's going to know that somebody's stolen from him. He runs off to get help, and the guard outside immediately comes in to try and arrest you. If you haven't completed Investigate the Murders and the 2 Flaming Fists are standing here at the bottom of the stairs, they will also try and come arrest you. And that's why you have to immediately open your map and teleport him out to camp. They will come back eventually, and you can talk to him. All well and good. Once he comes back, then you are free to bring Astarion back into town.
On my way.
And we're going to rinse and repeat.
Still alive, so that's progress. Breathe deep and move.
Okay, so the next person, and that got us the safe, or the safe key number 5, I think. Yes, the safe key number 5. Now we're going to get 2 counting house keys. We're going to get the vault key number 2 first.
Nice day for a walk.
Go.
And you get that from Ulrich here.
Leave no trace. Let's have a rummage.
There's the key. Okay, so Ulrich found you, even if you pass the hide check. Okay, but we got spotted. Okay, so now I can head back out here. I can make sure that everybody calms down.
At the ready.
Ulrich is still there. You see the doors are open. So Enforcer Skuna came back in and investigated it. But it looks like everything's back to normal here. So we'll bring Astarion back one more time. And now we're going to get the counting house vault key number 3.
the
Okay,
time
so
to
one
rest.
more cast of invisibility.
Trust no one.
And this key is on Alan. Now, sometimes, depending on how the patrons are facing, you can go into hiding behind Alan, but it really depends on a couple of the patrons. So I just do this the normal way. The Counting House Vault number 3 key. And again, get Astarion out of there as quick as you can.
How much farther can I go?
Looks like we might have succeeded on... Nope. We were spotted. Okay, but it looks like nobody reported us, so we should be good.
It's all in your head. I've a good mind to get the flaming fist before people start chucking themselves.
Okay, so let's take stock of our keys again. So we have the safe key number 1, safe key number 2. We can go easily pick up. By heading back to the Basilisk Gate, we can have Astarion rejoin us at the Basilisk Gate, and now our party's all grouped up again.
Never a dull moment. They should all be running.
The safe number 2 is in here. And we need to have a conversation here.
How many times do I need to say it? You sent word about a lead, said that I should come see you about it.
Of course, madam. Let me just... Forgive me, why are you here?
Is this some kind of sick joke? Do you have any idea what I've been through these past few days? My daughter Vanra, my little girl, she's missing. This stupid, useless fist said she had a lead, but she must have been stuck in Dream Mist or something.
Madam, tell me. You said... she was... taken from a tavern?
Yes, the blushing mermaid down by the docks. I told you 100 times. Why aren't you listening?
So the Arcana check there lets you know that she's been infected with a tadpole, and it's playing with her memories.
Excuse me, citizen, but if this is a criminal matter, it's my business, not yours. Now, madam, if you'll just tell me why you're here, I'll take down the details.
What is happening? I feel like I'm going mad. Of course. I haven't stopped. I tore that tavern apart. The rooms, every nook and cranny I could think of. She's gone. Her name is Vanra. She's 7 years old and has red hair, like me. We were in the Blushing Mermaid when she was taken. Just up by the docks. No, unless you count a couple of old drinking mates at the next table. But they'd be no help. They barely remember their own names. I was sober, though. I swear. I stop in the maid for a drink sometimes. But it was only a quick one. Of course. The front of house, Bosun Gannet was there, and the owner of the Blushing Mermaid, Captain Grizzly. Neither lifted a finger to help me look. It was awful. Thank you. I'll head home. Can't stand being around these idiots any longer. Come find me the moment you hear anything.
Okay, and that is going to kick us off with the save van request. And this is going to intersect with another quest that we're going to pick up here in a little bit as well. But for now, I can head down through this door and talk to Cook Camaros over here.
Cooking as fast as I can. Those fists have got bottomless bellies, I swear.
And then can head down to the prison entrance. There is another door behind the blaze here. It's a little hard to get to. You cannot cast darkness on this without hitting her. So it's a little hard to get into. You have to go in there using invisibility. But it also has to be greater invisibility. Because if you try and open the door, it's going to break your invisibility. So it's a little bit of a waste to get back in here, so I normally don't do it. And this takes you down into the prison. Now, the prison, again, has some areas that you don't want to go to, but you're free to walk around down here because there is something that you want to take a look at. And that is Skittle.
A new client? What a thrill. For you? Ratterily? Some call me the Great Collector. Others, the Merchant of Mysteries. But you, my friend, you can call me Skittle. Step up and marvel at the spectacular wonders on offer.
So we can engage in some rat puns with him.
Indeed, my mirthful mate. Care to take a squeak at my fan-ratstical wares? My enterprise is a more covert sort. I do my dealings in secret. The prison's pipes are a veritable maze of cracks and crannies. What a rat finds, a rat keeps. Captives have wants and needs, my plentiful patron. It is my pleasure, nay, my duty, to fulfill them.
And down here we have the counting house safe key number 2. Now, this used to be worth 0 gold. So you had to trade for it. It did not show up in the barter screen. They fixed that a few patches ago, so it now shows up in the barter screen. He's going to have some scrolls. The Dimension Door scroll I'm going to pick up. And I'm definitely going to pick up the Counting House key. He's also a reliable source of the Elixirs of Universal Resistance. So if you come in here and you level up, you can buy another one. Level up, buy another one. So it's he will always stock these. I don't think we need them at this point. And if we do, we can always come back here and trade with them again. But I'm going to balance this offer out.
Is that all?
Okay, and now we have 1 and 2. We're now looking for 3 and 4. Now, 3 we can get. That's by heading back to Bonecloaks. And now I'm going to actually stay out here. And I'm going to split Shadowheart and Astarion
There is work to do.
off.
Got to press on.
And while we're in here, we might as well pick up these crafting ingredients, the ones that are not stealing.
I should take that.
Let's put the Club of Hill Giant Strength on. We're going to make our way around the back and out here to the greenhouse. Holding left alt the entire way, because there's a bunch more crafting ingredients out here. If you didn't get the Greater Healing Potion recipe from the Last Light Inn, you can get it here. We've already got it. And again, just kind of be careful what you're clicking on out here. If you steal something, immediately hit M to open up your map and go to camp. Hey Dave, welcome. Sorry I was been in the middle of explaining some stuff. Thanks for being here, I appreciate it. And now we're going to send both of them, whoops, into hiding.
Calm and quiet, that's the way.
And Astarion going to lockpick this hatch. Wow, I'm afraid of how many nat ones I'm going to be rolling here. And this is going to take Shadowheart and I both down here into the basement. So Shadowheart still has
Time to dally.
a bunch of carrying capacity, so we'll just loot real quick. And again, this looting is just because I don't want to have to come back here later on. Should be pretty quick. There's nothing in the bottle racks here.
No time for dally.
Okay, Astarion.
Delicious. How for a skeleton key?
A long way to go still.
Okay, and there is the counting house safe number 3 key. Okay, now if you hold left alt in here, see a few things that we can loot as far as crafting ingredients go, some things on the ground. But you're also going to see something else. And first, there's a notice here. Preparing brews, so it should let you know that there's probably something here. You can see from your mini map there probably is as well, but if you left alt, there's a lever back here. Yeah, I know, Andy. The rules are definitely going to balance themselves out here. Okay, and that opens up this back area. Now, there's Bibberbang back here. We are familiar with what Bibberbang does, and that means we need to get rid of any open flames that are around here. The lanterns, you don't have to worry about.
Let's make this quick.
But you also do not want to be using anything that causes fire damage. And that's why Shadowheart is triggering these, and not Astarion. Astarion is doing fire damage with the gloves he's wearing, or if he's wearing the Helldust gloves, he'll be doing fire damage, and we don't want that to happen. Otherwise, these clouds would explode. as soon as you hit them. And then you have a chance to destroy some items that are in here. We don't want that to happen.
No time to waste.
So there's another bibber bang there that I forgot about. And I'll head down here and kind of clear some of these out. Okay, this one you want to knock the candles down first. And again, the lantern doesn't matter. Oh, yeah, that one can sometimes be a little bugged. Okay. And this one, like I say, can be a little bugged sometimes. It kind of depends on where your arrow hits as to whether or not it's going to set it off. So now we'll go back up here and we'll start looting the rest of this. And if you don't have bark skin, here's a place for you to get it. But again, you should have it by now. I believe bark skin you got back in Act 2. There's more crafting ingredients and items up here. The elixir of psychic resistance is nice, and then more crafting ingredients. This lets you know that some of the storyline behind the Bonecloaks, and that she is not entirely innocent in this whole thing. He has a disease. The noble stock could cure him of that disease, but she's intentionally not curing him as well. And that's, like I say, somewhat understandable because of the abuse that she's sustained. And then a Starian lockpick here. Yeah, Andy, and you can remove fire to get rid of all those. You just have a chance that you're going to destroy items, or that they're going to be blown off of here to other locations. So I tend not to do it, but none of these items are really extremely valuable. So if you lose a few, doesn't really matter. Now this crate is a little special here.
Let's have it.
You can pick up the purple fluorite shard, but you can't pick up anything else. However, if you attack the wooden box, now you're able to pick up the crystals and the fire explosives that are in it. Okay, and more crafting ingredients here on the shelf. And the last thing we're going to go look at is up here at the top.
I wonder.
So there's a very valuable potion of speed. We're going to need all those that we can get. And more crafting ingredients there. Okay, so we will... Now, there is another way down here. If you click down here right now, your characters are going to fall off the edge and hurt themselves. again, another pathing thing, which I'm sorry to say I only know that because I've had it happen. So if you want to avoid the 4 or 8 hit points of fall damage, then make your way around here the long way. Okay, so that got us Counting House Safe Key number 3. Okay, number 4, we're not going to get yet. And the reason for that is because that can be pickpocketed from the head clerk inside the counting house itself. So when we go to the counting house, which we're probably going to do next week, we will pickpocket that key when we get there. Okay. Key number 5, we already have. Key number 6, we already have. Key number 7. So keys number 7 and 8 are fairly straightforward, and I'm going to... I'm trying to think of which one of these... The Lower City Central Wall is where I want to go. I was trying to think which one would be better to go to. So let's bring everybody together over here.
Don't waste a step.
We're going to head down here. And make our way through the gate. Because we need to go to Beehive Goods and Wares here. And let's look at this poster talking about Baron's Coop and the Hag. And that's going to start the Help the Hag Survivors quest. And that's going to intersect with the Save Van request as well. Now this one you can just utilize with Astarion. Always useful to close the door behind you first. Okay, and wait for the Flaming Fist to kind of move back down here. He has the Counting House Safe Key number 7. Okay, so now we've got number 7. Let's head back here. He's probably flipping out. Yep, see, he's gone. He took off running, trying to find the Flaming Fist to help him out. He'll teleport back here in a second.
Latest Baldur's Mouth edition. Oh, dynamite! That Lord Gortash should have his own column. Never mind just an interview.
There he is. So, they'll run off, but they will come back, and like nothing ever happened.
What are you after, friend? Got grub, potions, a few nice vintages? Best stock up now before someone clears me out to fill their larder.
Okay, so you're going to be able to get some really nice potions here. The Elixir of Bloodlust is really nice, so I'm going to pick up one of those. The Potion of Invisibility is extremely useful. He will also have Elixirs of Viciousness in here, which are also really, really useful. But for now, I think that's all I want.
Anything else?
Okay, and the next one, we're going to go to Heapside Strand. We're going to have Astarion join us at Heapside Strand.
Can't give up now.
Okay, and we're going to go down here and we're going to have a conversation. Now, you don't... Well, I'm debating on whether or not... No. We're going to have this conversation. This is a different way of doing this. We're going to have our first encounter with the Guildhall here. If we had played out the fight in the or in Rivington, or more specifically on the shore underneath the Worms Rock Crossing, if we had played that out and we had saved the guild members there, then when we get in here, that guild member would be waiting for us and would let us into the guild hall. If we bring Jaheira along with us, again, you don't have to pass any checks to get into the guild hall. I'm going to illustrate what happens if you come here without doing either one of those things, because we killed the guild members in that fight, and we're not going to bring Jaheira along. Okay, so when you walk in here, once you get to a certain spot, you're going to trigger a cutscene.
Shouldn't go wandering in dark alleys. Very dangerous hobby. Gets people killed.
On the half-orc's finger, you notice an unusual ring. Heavy and with a strange symbol carved on its surface.
Scurry away, good book, before I crush you.
Okay, so there's a perception check there at the start. There's also a history check that you can do here. And again, I don't really care if I pass these, but I do have some things I can add in here.
You recall seeing this symbol on crates marked for Nine Fingers Keen, leader of the guild. The thug works for her.
Oi! Stop staring. Start walking. Last chance.
Okay, and that's going to open up the options here to know that they all have 9 fingers. If you don't have them, you can detect his thoughts and get the same type of opportunities here. But for me, I believe that persuasion, yeah, or intimidation is the most.
You're here to see Nine Fingers? She didn't tell me. Always don't let anyone through, Tuscron. Never here's a list of special guests. Confusing. Come, I'll take you to the Guildhall. Nine Fingers is inside.
Okay, and that's going to get you an inspiration back. So in case you failed that history check or something like that, this is going to get you an inspiration back if you have a Starian with you. We're just going to head up here to the top and check this mailbox. Now, this is not stealing, by the way. So that's going to get us the counting house safe number 8 key. You know what? I don't even think I've ever been in here. Can you even get in here and walk around? No.
What a delightfully secluded alley. I would.
So now if we look, we've got 1, 2, 3. We are not going to get 4. We've got 5, 6, 7, and 8. So we've got all the safe keys that we want for right now. The vault key number 1 we're going to get next week. And that's because we have to follow in the way we're going to do it. We have to complete the Hag's Lair quest. We have to deal with, say, Vanra and investigate the Hag support group and go to the Blushing Mermaid for that, because this can be looted or pickpocketed from Captain Grizzly. But right now, Captain Grizzly has been taken over by the Hag, and we want to, you can kill Captain Grizzly and loot it, but we want to try and save Captain Grizzly instead of looting it. So we won't get number 1 until next week. Number 2, we picked up from pickpocketing Ulrich in the Elfsong Tavern. Number 3, we got again from pickpocketing Alan in the Elfsong Tavern. Number 4, we got from Avery's body in Faloger's, or no, this was from pickpocketing Roger Highbury after we saved him and his wife from Dolor. Number 5 is from Avery Sanchol's body in Faloger's fireworks. Next is vault number 6. And vault number 6 is right over here. Okay, we have 2 casts of invisibility left, but we also have a short rest to get our warlock spell slots back. Wait a minute. No, that's not where it is. It's right here. It's by the Facemaker's Boutique. We need to go to Baldur's Gate. Sorry, it took me a second. It's unlabeled. It's right here. This is the Glitter Gala.
Those clanking great steel watches. Bloody hate them. No matter what the mouth says.
And we're again going to leave everybody outside for now. We'll go in here real quick just so you can get a kind of a lay of the land in here. Who we need to pickpocket is Omatola. Now, Astarion can pickpocket her without needing invisibility.
What's up for discussion?
Drab attire, lackluster skin. My darling, you need my gems. They'll brighten even a ghoul like yourself. Or, if you are the practical sort, I also stock enchanted stones. They're almost as magical as myself. A skeleton would be more accurate. You have good bones, darling. You just need decoration, and you're in the right place.
Okay, now she's going to sell all sorts of gems here. Rings and that sort of stuff. Nothing in any of this that I'm aware of is useful for anything. You can't buy them and then resell them somewhere for a higher price. So it's not really worth it to do anything. It's just an extra vendor that's here in the game that you can sell stuff to.
Is no life at all. Take care now.
Moving ahead.
Upstairs. Is the chromatic scale.
Come, Docker. You look like someone who knows their way around a lute. Or perhaps you enjoy the drums. Flute? No. Lyre. A fellow bard. Oh, might I bend your ear? I've been experimenting with lute strings made of, hear me out, warg hair. Well, you see...
Excited and breathless, time passes in the blink of an eye as the two of you get lost in the intricacies of music.
Goodness, look at the time. I'm terribly sorry for keeping you, but the most delightful chat. Here, a little discount as a thank you.
Okay, so this is specific to a bard. So if you have a bard in your party, or if you don't, you can hire one. However, that kind of lessens the usefulness of this because they're the only ones that are going to get that discount. His attitude is automatically raised by 60. So he normally doesn't stock a whole lot, or doesn't have a whole lot of gold on him, but it can be another vendor for selling things. This is going to get you some rare musical instruments. Now, these don't do anything else. They are just perform actions. So it's nothing in particular that I would gain over the spider lyre that I carry. They are just regular, so just of the rare quality. But he is somewhere else that you can sell items to, if you would like.
Thank you for coming to my little shop. I hope you have a wondrous day.
Okay, now there are, again, everything up here is marked as steel. There's a key that opens a chest back in here, but again, nothing really special. So we're gonna head out to the front door again, and we're gonna have Astarion go in and do a little more pickpocketing. Okay, now this one you have to be a little careful because the windows, you can be seen through the windows.
Radio note. Some mild class in
Okay, and here is the counting house vault number 6 key. And again, immediately going to camp. Because even if you pass the check,
bringing in the stench of the foundry.
to stay hidden, see,
Metal screeches.
she will go looking for you. Since you were at camp, she's going to, gotta go fast, and she will take off trying to catch you. She won't be able to, and she will eventually teleport back into her spot. Okay, so we're going to wait for that to happen, and once she's back, then I can bring Astarion back in here like nothing happened. See, there she is. So everything's calmed down. So we'll bring Astarion back in. And we're going to split him and Shadowheart off one more time.
Surely you can't agree with how he's talking to a child. Steel watches. Bloody hate them. No matter what the mouth says.
I lied.
Actually, I'm going to take my bard down there as well. And I'm going to leave Karlak up here. That perception check is for the chest key, which is here. I'm not going to take that.
Making me sweat. Saddle up.
Now I'm going to go up here with Karlak and talk to
Herman, is that you?
Amatola.
Drab attire? Or
During
if
this
you are the
pause,
practical sort,
I'm going to change
I
characters. Because that turns her around and gets her detection cone away from back here.
Neither seen nor heard.
Alright, time to skulk about. Quiet as a mouse.
If this isn't important.
Okay, and then I'm going to have Astarion
Quietly.
lockpick the hatch. This is a DC 20. Oh boy. Yeah, I'm really going to pay for all these nat 20s. And then I'm going to head down here, and I'm immediately going to get a check. Okay. So 2 people failed it.
I can't afford to fail.
They must have rolled low. Yeah, they rolled a 6 and she rolled a 4 with advantage.
What is it?
Oh, jeez. He rolled a 2. Okay. So now I have to try and remember where this thing is. I think it's right here.
Traps. How considerate.
Oh, geez. How many nat 20s am I going to roll? Well, I've still got guidance. I'm going to head all the way down here. And I found that trap as well. Wow. Oh boy, I'm seriously afraid.
What fun.
That's like 5 or 6. This is DC 25. So we got a little bit better than a 50-50 shot here. That could be a big number. Nice.
A trap. Someone doesn't like visitors. Be careful. There are traps.
Okay, and I think that's all the traps here. Oh no, we still have one more perception check to make. And he failed. Okay. So let's bring him back out.
There's no
We'll
time
bring
to waste.
Shadowheart up here, and again, I think it's right here.
That might be worth a look.
Okay, the piano here is why I brought my bard down here. There are no traps in here.
On I go.
But let's go see if we can find the trap on the chest. And we failed it. Okay, rolled a 3. It's a DC 25. So it's pretty hard to pass, but rolling a 3 on advantage. Oh, she doesn't have advantage because I forgot to change her shield out. That's why. So, unfortunate. Where are we on carry weight? So, Starian has a little bit left.
Subtle steps.
So we'll have him search this room. No. Now I'm drunk. It'll wear off, though. Okay. We'll just pick up the last of this and then we'll redistribute. Okay, and then... Okay, so there he goes.
Whatever it takes.
Now my bard.
Subtle sometimes.
We need to go in here and make a performance check. Oh, jeez. I think that's like 6 or 7. That performance check is gonna unlock this secret wall here.
Let's get on with it. Onward then.
Okay, and this chest is going to have random musical instruments. This is the chest for the shop upstairs, and this is the chest for the shop upstairs.
Well, hello.
So we're going to take Astarion back here now, and we're going to have him disarm this chest. But first, actually, I need Shadowheart up here to loot first.
I'm ready. Got to keep moving.
But first, we're going to loot everything so that when this, when I undo this, I believe I've already disarmed all the gas traps, but let's loot all of this stuff first.
Worth grabbing.
So again, this is the storeroom here for the shop upstairs. You're going to find a lot of jewelry and all of that sort of stuff down here. The Glitter Gala store key, which will unlock this one, I think. Okay. So I'm going to have... I don't think this trap's going to go off, but I'm going to have him trigger it over here in a second. Now you can roll another 20 if you want. Alright. And now we're just going to take this chest here. We're going to lockpick it. As soon as we open it, it's going to want to trigger. Okay. And he took the damage there from chain lightning. So he succeeded on his saving throw, so he only took half damage from that. And that's why I wanted him to take it.
Watch your back.
Okay. So now everybody here, we should be able to group up. Okay, and now if I look at my vault keys, we've already talked that number 1, we're not going to be able to get until next week. So number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, and number 6. So we got all but one of the safe keys, all but one of the vault keys, and then the high security vault keys. Now there are 9 of these. So number 1 is in Ramesses Tower. When we go through Sorceress Sundries, which we're also going to do next week. Number 2, we should have. You got this from looting Lady Janeth in the Janeth Estate. Number 3, we should have. We got this from Cazador's palace. Number 4, we're going to get when we visit the Water Queen's house. This one, again, you need invisibility for to get. And actually, we can probably go do that one today, I think. Number 5, we get in Worms Rock Fortress. This is in Gortash's study at the very top. Number 6, we won't get for a couple of weeks, and that's because that's in the Iron Throne. It's a really hard key to get on honor mode. So we're going to not deal with that one for now. We can come back and get that, or unlock that vault if we manage to get that key. Number 7, we can also get today, and that's from Nine Fingers Keen. Number 8, we already have. We got that from the Sharan Temple and the Cloister of Somber Embrace. And number 9, we won't be able to get until next week. So we can get numbers 4 and 8 today. So for number 4... Okay, and we no longer need, or like keeping her occupied.
Soldier? There was a time when we'd have a pillory in the wild, small enough for street rats like you. Perhaps Lord Gortash will revive that grand.
How many die today?
Okay, so the Water Queen's house is down here. Okay, so we need to head southwest. And we're going to, for this, we're going to get into a fight down here. And for that, we'll take Astarion. He should have the Periapta wound closure. Potions of healing. Nope.
What now?
We want to leave him a little bit down on his hit points. And then he'll put the Shatter Amulet back on. Because like I say, we're about to get into a fight here. I'm going to take everybody else in my party. I'm going to leave them up here. Going to get an autosave before this, and I'm going to take my bard and I'm going to head down these stairs. And as soon as we get down here, we're going to get into an encounter down here.
It's not a lie. If you would just listen, I could explain.
You have done quite enough explaining, Volothamp Gadam. You have poisoned the very hearts and minds of these good, kind, gentle citizens with your lies, your delusions, your conspiracies. Though you hide behind a mask of stories, we have seen beyond the veil. We see what you really are. Fearmonger. Hear, hear! Attention seeker. Hear, hear! Agent of chaos.
Your parasite stirs in recognition. This man is infected.
Right in the hell's Volo! Today, citizens, we rid ourselves of this cankerous sore. Today, we burn away all falsehoods. Today, we will be divided no longer, for today, we rise in truth.
Psst. Don't just stand there. Help me, goddammit! Help me!
What's this? Another heretic in our midst? Another mind clouded by the disruptor's lies? Another soul to cleanse? Well, we are nothing if not gracious. Let us see if we cannot lift the veil from their eyes too.
No! Please! No!
Okay, and what he will do is throw that torch to light this on fire, and that lights the cart on fire. So now, every turn, it's going to take burning damage, and you see when the cart breaks, all of these smoke powder barrels are going to fall onto the ground and explode. So we need to get down here and put out these flames. Okay, and I'm going to do that with create or destroy water with Shadowheart. Now, hopefully, I've worked this out, and I need to go see what the detection cones are going to be like here. Citizens pause in their tracks. Or, I mean, NPCs pause in their tracks. You can see that these named ones, they're stopped. Okay, everybody else, the other citizens, they do not have detection cones. Okay, so I'm not too worried about them. However, the detection cones here get a little weird. Okay, you can see there's some strange things going on.
Perfectly hidden.
So we're going to try and get Shadowheart down here as far as we can toward this encounter.
Onward.
And like I say, the detection cones are a little weird down here, so it might not be possible to get very close. But you also want to time it around the Steel Watcher's movement. And from here, I can shadow teleport all the way down here. Okay, so with my bonus action, I can drink a potion of speed. And now I can create water here. Now this can be a little tricky. I tend to drop it on the ground. Don't target the rail cart itself. Drop it on the ground underneath it. Sometimes if you target the rail cart, the whole thing will glitch out a little bit, and it will put the stuff on the ground, but it won't actually hit the cart. I think that's because it's trying to hit a center of mass or something, which might be underneath one of these barrels. So cast it on the ground near it, and you should be fine. Okay, so for me,
Nothing important is ever easy.
here, I again have a few options on how I want to propagate this fight. And one of them has to do with the fire wine barrels that are scattered around here. Okay, and that's going to light all this on fire out here. So every one of them is now sitting on a fire surface. Some of them are going to be burning because of it. And I can then let them come to me through all of the flames. Now, I don't want the ranged people to get attacks if I can avoid it here. So I'm going to deal with Dart first. There's the ones. There are the ones coming back. Okay, now with Karlach, this is interesting because I can get Karlach down to here.
Toes, toes. I've got
Put her into hiding. And I can chuck stuff a really long way from up here.
This'll help.
Okay. Don't think I can reach him from there. Got a bunch of movement though, so let's see. Okay, so we'll just chuck the second one here. Okay, we'll action surge, because why not? How much did that leave? A 1 hit point, of course. I think that's too far for a detonation. Let's see if this is close enough.
Eat it.
Because I would like to be able to throw Nyrolna out here. Okay, and now Astarion should be able to take the same path down that Shadowheart did.
Very, very quiet.
And again, we're going to wait for Steel Watcher here. Okay, here. It's going to take a bit for that to hit.
Hungry for the slaughter.
Okay, so let's, I think this is close enough for a detonation. Let's see. It won't hit him up there. I think it actually probably will hit him. Yeah, I think he's within that range. I don't think the elevation's going to save him there. But the blood knocked out the fire surface. But actually, I think I'm going to detonate here instead. Okay.
I can't even catch my breath.
Let's cut your fire, baby.
Got to keep fighting.
I want her to take any damage and not Volo. And that's what happens when you melee attack Karlach. That's why I didn't finish her off, is because I knew if she did land an attack on Karlach, that was not going to go well for her. And in case you don't remember why that happened, the Bone Spike Garb, when the wearer is struck by a melee attack, the attacker takes 4 piercing damage. And that's where that is from. So, we knew that she was going to take that damage, so I didn't waste any action economy on her.
That's it.
Still breathing, despite everything.
I don't think they're gonna last long enough for this to matter, but
shall we dance?
there's the one. We're starting to see it.
Spill some blood.
Astarian OP.
What's next, I wonder?
Okay, we'll wait for the flames to disappear.
I have a lot on my mind. And
Then we'll
well,
group everybody up.
in it. One day I'll catch a break.
Okay, so does anybody have any carrying capacity? Karlak and Shadowheart have a little bit.
Face protects me. It's been a long day. Better stop to rest.
That's
soon.
probably going to encumber her. He doesn't have that much because of the plate armor.
Let's see.
Whoops. I'm kind of hidden back here. Don't think I'm going to be able to pick any of these, pick these up with anybody. Yeah, so let's start spreading the wealth around a little bit. There's another Mind Flare specimen, so it should take us up to 16.
Hey, good looking.
And does she still have that on? She does.
Still breathing, despite everything. Pave my path with corpses.
And we'll go
build
talk to
my
Volo.
castle with bones. Something's on my mind.
Gods, I really thought I was done for. I suppose thanks are in order. Again, what's an heroic story without a little risking of one's neck, eh? And you know what they say, the bigger the story, the more people want to kill you for it. You of all people will, know what I mean? I'll, tell you what I know, but not here. Too many eyes, ears, weapons about. Meet me at your camp, hmm?
Okay, so next time we're in camp, we're going to be able to talk to Volo about some stuff. But first, let's pick up all of these smoke powder barrels. And we will send all of these to camp. Way too valuable to leave laying around. Okay, now we're going to leave Astarion unencumbered. Why? Okay. He couldn't walk down off of the cart.
Quick step.
So this must be a cart of doom. So let's get everybody off the cart. Oh no, Karlak.
Hey ho.
Get off the cart.
Is
Okay.
that blood? No, never mind. Dreaming red.
So we're going to leave Astarion unencumbered.
Oh, Wave Mother, Queen of the Depths, hear me. Please carry Holly to her final rest in the deep wilds. Please. Sorry, are you here for Wave Servant Holly's funeral? Oh, it's already started. They're just inside. Yes. Oh, please, you're most welcome. We have much to be thankful for. May the Wave Mother smile on you as she did Holly.
Okay, so a couple of things to know about the Water Queen's house here. First, there's an offering chest here. Okay, so the offering chest, if you put anything in it, even just one gold piece, you will get a bless until your that lasts until the next long rest. Now, you can only do this one time for any party member, so in the entire game. So save this bonus until you need it. All right, and I know where we are going to use it. If you're not familiar, Bless gives you a 1d4 bonus to attack rolls and saving throws. Not checks, but saving throws. So again, I know where we're going to use it and why we're going to use it. And we're going to save this for that. Now, the other thing to realize is that it does not stack with Sweetstone Features. Sweetstone Features is Bless. It's just being called a different name. It used to stack with Bless, or with Sweetstone Features, but they have since recoded Sweetstone Features to be the exact same as Bless in the game code, so it will not stack with that. But anybody else can get it, and it will last until long rest. Okay? But we're not going to do that yet. We're going to save it, and we're going to go back here to the back, and we're going to have a conversation. Because Holly is dead, and Alondra Gray is here.
Rejoice, sisters, for Umberly has blessed her humble daughter with a pure death. Her lips blue with her kiss, her lungs full of her quenching word. Umberly's mercy saved her from a slow, sinking death in the beast's shadow. How dare this beast sully the safety of Grey Harbor? We will find its master and send him struggling into the bitch queen's embrace. Not a sweet sleep like Holly's, but a suffocating flood of fruitless garths and bursting flesh. You, supplicant, what tribute do you bring to honor the Wave Mother's fallen daughter?
Now, I don't think there are any differences here in this conversation. I think it only matters if I have like a barbarian or maybe a monk or something like that.
A layperson's prayers. Good, but earnest. Your tribute is well received. Breathe deep as she permits. Yes. Thank the Wave Mother. Blessed Umberly saw fit to spare her an ignoble death. But her passing was not as the Wave Mother intended. It was a beast who took her life. An unnatural one whose very existence is an affront to Umberly. A wretched metal monstrosity hewn by hubris. A rusting pollutant that bleeds black blood into Umberly's pristine waters. The beast struck Holly while she was swimming in Grey Harbor. She was found by some fishermen. She would have suffered a terrible, agonizing death had Umberly not bestowed upon her the mercy of drowning. The Queen of the Depths is generous to those who serve her, and her favor is far less deadly than her wrath. Find the master of this poisonous beast and slay him. Then one of her most precious gifts shall be yours. We haven't found its lair as yet. Perhaps you can find where the beast takes its slumber and skewer it before it wakes. That privilege is not yours to earn. Salt kiss your brow. We await your return and the Beastmaster's demise.
Okay, and that's going to get us an inspiration of Shadow Hearts with us, or if you're a cleric. And it's also going to start up another quest for us, Avenge the Drowned. Okay, this is going to tie in with something that we're going to do. Well, maybe we do it next week, but probably the week after. Because next week we are definitely going to be helping the Hag survivors, which ties in with, say, Vanra. But for now, I think that's all the quests that we have. Yes. So now, the reason we were here is because of the high security vault key number 4. Now, that key is up here. Okay, and it's in a chest inside this room, and you see there's somebody walking around down here. Okay, their detection cones are very, very weird. Okay, and you have to be invisible when you do this for 2 reasons. One, because you're not allowed upstairs. As soon as you go upstairs, you get kicked out and sent and teleported back down here. Okay? So you don't want to be seen. So we're going to do the same thing that we had done previously. And we have another cast of invisibility left. Whoops. Invisibility. Okay, I just need to be closer. That's why. Oh, because it's level 3, I can give multiple targets. I don't care. Okay, and then immediately
This way.
start making your way up here.
Very well then.
And here's the first person who will kick you out. And here's the second.
You don't have permission to be here. You're about to be ejected.
Didn't get out in time. But now I definitely want to get to camp, because they're going to realize that something's been stolen. She saw me and kicked me out, which is fine. But she will also realize that something has been taken. And then they will start a fight. So the only way to deal with these two is to be invisible when you do it. And that... what we stole were 2 things. The first was the Wave Mother's cloak. So during combat, once per turn, the cloak grants the wearer water layer protection until the wearer takes damage. Water layer protection is you're prevented from burning, you're resistant to fire damage, but vulnerable to lightning and cold damage. The Wave Mother's set, which is a set of 3 items, or 4 items, I can't remember, I think it's 4 items, is really good when you're taking a lot of fire damage. So specifically when you get into the Cazador fight, it can be a way to protect yourself against the large amount of fire damage that you take from the Cambions and things like that. But for the most part, not something that you really need to focus on. Okay, and for the last one that we're going to do today, actually, we're going to take everybody else to camp. No, we won't. We'll take everybody to Lower City Central Wall. Can't remember if I've run them out of gold or not. We'll head down here and see real quick. And if I haven't, then I'll bring Astarion down here as well.
Easier to don some armor than.
Okay, so they still have all of their gold, so let's start pawning this stuff off. The magical pike, again, there's nothing really magical about it. It's just named different. But the rapier +1. Okay, and then down to here. And the Speak Your Law scroll you picked up is worth 417 gold. Keep that in mind while you're selling. All of this. Okay, and then here. Lots of armor. Really expensive. Garbage. Alright, now we can start clearing out. Now we need to be a little careful here. We're getting a little close. $42. So I need 10. Three, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. I don't think he's probably going to have anything that we want. No. The Harlequin, this is a nice die. So let's get him more stuff. I need 18. $16, $17. Oh, yeah, I put 2 extra in there. We'll just get rid of the rock fish.
City's got it.
Okay, so let's bring Astarion in here as well to the Lower City Central Wall.
All's well that ends. Not as bad
Group
as it
him
could
up
have.
and we'll talk to
I should speak
Fitz.
Something caught your eye then? Careful. Most of my wares can take an eye right out.
And Fitz is one of the most important vendors because she always has a very large amount of gold. Here. I'll keep the anarchic white. I like that. I like the look. Okay, keep the Idol of Saluna and Shadowheart. Don't need the ocean dye. I think all the rest of that is good. Okay, and Astarion is last here. All the Githyanki weapons. And all of the Githyanki armor. Look at all that gold. Now here, we're going to have to be a little careful as we go through this. 40. $41. Leave the Harper pin. Okay, so 43.77, so we got 20 left. Or 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I need 5 more. 2, 3, 4, and 5. We don't need Aberration Slaying. The arrows of many targets we already got plenty of. Malice is nice, but I don't think we need it. So yeah, I think we're okay without any of the rest.
All of my wares are tried and true.
Okay, so now we are going to the Guildhall. And for this, we're going to bring Jaheira along with us. So we're going to...
Have I been this way before?
We'll talk to Will real quick since he wants to talk. This is about his father, or answer.
There will be no great tempest roaring through the skies, no dragon redeemer to save us. What hope then for Baldur's Gate? Without the great worm's aid, is the city doomed to fall?
You braved the worm's lair, seeking a savior. Yet it was you, all of you, who vanquished the undead abomination which Unsur became. You are more powerful than you understand. It is you who are the Tempest. It is you who are the heart of the gate.
You're right. We are the warriors who'll slay the Absolute. We are the guardians who'll defend this fair city. Yes, the brain will fall, and the people will hail us as champions. I could even claim my father's own ducal title and carry his banner after this. Grand Duke Will Ravengard, Marshal of the Flaming Fist, the city's truest defender. Courage, insight, strategy, justice. These were the lessons my father taught me. Baldur's Gate is my home, and I am its servant. I will be relentless in my pursuit of the greatest good. The Blade of Frontiers is no more. I will be Will Ravengard, son of Ulder, proud Duke of Baldur's Gate.
Will's courage and enthusiasm warms the air. With him at your side, the road ahead doesn't look so insurmountable.
And this is a way that I haven't gone before in previous playthroughs, and one that we will be exploring. Okay. So we're going to have Will step up to be a Grand Duke of Baldur's Gate. We have not completed his father's questline yet, but it won't matter.
Ah, my good fellow. Quite the cozy setup you have here. I'll just make myself comfortable. Thank you so much.
Okay, now for this, I'm going... Oh, Will wants to speak again. Will's being chatty today.
Ah, there you are. I was thinking. I'm not a Grand Duke just yet, but I'm still of a mind to celebrate. A hearty meal would do the trick. A few hunks of fresh venison, a round of brown ale. What do you say? Wonderful. You hunt the deer, I'll scrounge up the ale. Prepare your belly for a roast a la Raven Guard. Let's hope Gale doesn't take offense if I assume cooking duties, just the once. If I'm to be a Grand Duke, I've got to greet the people and gain their trust. First, we mourn. We bow our heads for the fallen, and honor them by pledging peace. Next, we heal the city. We restore our broken buildings stone by stone. We restore faith in each other, one good turn at a time. Then we open the gates to the refugees, restore diplomatic ties. Baldur's Gate will again be the jewel of the coast.
Okay, we're going to wait on all of these things. And let's talk to Jaheira.
Grand Duke, is it? Oh. I'd follow Will into battle, sure enough. But politics... I think I am perhaps too faint of heart. You'll need to free up your ranks a little first.
And I'm going to leave Karlach here.
At your command.
And again, I don't care about leveling her up or whatever she's going to be. I'm out of short rests. Yes, so...
Someone there?
I think I have one other way to get invisibility here. And actually, I think I have it. Yep, I've got it. Got the fetish here. And I want to take this ring and put it down with the Eversight ring down here. Just so I know where it is.
At least things have stayed interesting.
We're going to head to Heapside Strand. And we're going to go into the Guildhall.
Very well.
Now this one can be tricky, so I'm going to use some resources for this that I wouldn't normally do.
Well, the fabled haunt of Nine Fingers Key.
Never visited before. I thought you got around.
I always... If guild members started disappearing, people would start asking questions. And Cazador hated questions.
Okay, so first I need to look and see. Okay, so I do have one. I've got two, actually. Good. So here, we're going to do a couple of things. And the first of which is we're going to talk to Mole down here. Mole.
Wow, look who it is! Glad to see you in the city. Hope you found plenty of coin in Ketherick's coffers. Ready to do some business?
Now, something you notice about Mole is Mole no longer seems to need an eye patch. We're going to give it back anyway. We've been carrying it.
I survived the hells when Elturel fell. Compared to that, slipping out of Moonrise was child's play. Oh, I've got a few ideas. I'll be running this whole place in no time. Sure is. We work for Fetcher, handling what you might call pre-owned goods. Talk to Sticky. He'll cut you a deal.
Okay, and that's going to complete the quest that we got all the way back in Act 2 when Maul disappeared from the Last Light Inn during the supposed attack that we prevented by using the silence trick.
Seems like a good moment to talk.
Fetcher isn't himself, so I'm running the shop. You buying or selling? Let's just say the previous owners no longer have a use for them. Got me? Fetcher isn't himself, so I'm running the shop. You buying or selling?
Okay, so Sticky Dondo has a couple of things. The first of which is the Elixirs of Hill Giant Strength that we are definitely going to pick up. We'll also pick up Crawler Mucus. But he's got the Shade Slayer Cloak. Now, this is another one of those items for your crit hit builds, and we're going to pick it up. While hiding, the number you need to roll a crit is reduced by 1. Now, it's only while hiding. So this is best used on your Gloomstalker Assassin Rogue, who likes to go into hiding before that first attack, and that way they can benefit from this. But this can be utilized by anybody who starts out on that first attack from hiding. So Karlak throwing from hiding to start the attacks off, this would mean that she would need 1 less to roll a crit when she's doing it. So we're definitely going to pick these up, but we're going to wait a little bit on doing this. I am going to pick up the Elixir of Hill Giant Strength now, though. It's not guaranteed that you get that every time.
Sometimes stuff we sell comes back around to us again. So watch yourself. Got me?
Okay, and now we'll head up here and we're going to talk to Severn.
Before you ask, I ain't got none of that plum Prosecco. Now, what can I get you, newcomer? Beverages of distinction, or in some cases, extinction, if you ain't careful. How you feeling today? Lucky?
Okay, now Severn sells something other than alcohol and food, and that's the Drunken Cloth. Now, I'm definitely going to pick this up, but it's also something that I'm really anxious to see how it interacts with the new subclass for the monk, the Drunken Master. This is the final piece of the Drunken set, so while drunk, you have advantage on Constitution saving throws. You gain temporary hit points equal to your Constitution modifier at the start of your turn. So at the start of every turn, Astarion is going to be gaining hit points, and we're going to buy this straight from him now because we're not going to up his. It's not more than 1,600 gold, so we're not going to up his attitude. But again, for Astarion, his Constitution bonus is +3 right now. So we would be gaining 3 temporary hit points at the start of every one of his turns while we're drunk. Okay, and that's the important part. But that synergizes well with the Drunken Amulet that lets drunk last for 10 turns. As well as the Punch Drunk Bastard, which allows you to deal extra damage while you're drunk. All of that sort of stuff as part of that drunken set. So I'm anxious to see how it plays out with this and how it synergizes with it once patch 8 drops and we get to that particular point. Okay, so now we're going to head in here and we're going to have a conversation with Nine Fingers Keen.
Light on my feet.
should speak up.
It's an orphanage, Ukta. What would you have me do? Seize their toys as payment?
Well, they failed to pay tribute. We should withdraw our protection, at the very least.
And cede more ground to the Stone Lord? You're not suggesting I yield a single inch of the city, my city, to this cult?
We already look weak. If you're seen to be forgiving debts...
I didn't say forgive. Seize the building. Are many children old enough? If they protect what's mine, we'll consider that a start on what's owed.
Yes, Guildmaster. Excuse me? This is a private council.
Keep your underpants clean, Ukta. We're playing host to a hero. You owe me a gold piece, grandmother. When I heard you died out in the wilderness, I made an offering at Kellamvor's well.
Of gold? Oh, I did not know I meant so much to you, Guildmaster.
Oh, I'm terribly sentimental. Case in point, I've just let a harper walk through my guild hall, noticeably unholed. Because I'm curious about why you're here and who it is you've brought with you.
This is the one who saved my life. So really, she owes you your gold piece. But we can settle debts later, Nine Fingers. For now, we need help. We're searching for Minsk of Rashomon.
A big name, that. Such information does not come cheap, High Harper. Not in normal times. Of course. Seeing as these are not normal times and we're all such good friends, I'll do better than tell you where he is. I'm bringing him here as we speak. Or parts of him, at least. I gave no orders about the condition of his corpse.
What treachery is this, Nine Fingers? Have you thrown in with the Absolute too?
Against my own city? Careful. You're in very real danger of hurting my feelings. It's Minsk who's found his faith with Faerun's newest god. And a new name with it. The Stone Lord.
Lies.
Exactly the one. Guild crews may be prone to exaggeration, but not in this case. In his short reign, the Stone Lord and his crew have earned a reputation. Pure brutality. No survivors. And where he mows my people down, this ripe little cult takes root. But not for much longer. We have word on where he plans to hit next. And he'll find us ready to hit back this time.
Nine Fingers. Estelle. Call off your ambush, tell us where he is, and we'll handle this.
We? I heard what happened to your harpers, Jaheira. I'm sorry, but this fight's too big for you alone. If you're half the friend you're posing as, you'll tell her that her part in this is done. The Stone Lord's fate is sealed. We have a bigger war to fight. I'd rather turn our talk to that, but if you need a moment, Jaheira, well, you've earned that much. My guild hall is open to you. Have a drink, Jaheira. Have a rest. Just leave well enough alone. It would be a shame for the city to lose 2 of its heroes in one day.
Okay, so there we had a conversation with her, and hey, Steven, welcome. I'm not sure if it's low or not. If there's an issue, I always have the volume turned down compared to my speaking volume. But if it's a problem hearing them or anything like that, then let me know. I'm going to move everybody else back out of this room. And I'm going to head out this door. Actually, I'm not going to take a chance. Let's just head down here.
Any news, Digger?
No. Watch for the signal.
Now, I do not want to take a chance here that I'm going to anger everybody in this place. I just don't want to chance that. So, I'm going to split Astarion off. And I'm going to take everybody else. Actually, before I do it. I'm going to move the Scroll of Greater Invisibility to Astarion. And I'm going to head out. It's going to take everybody else outside. Okay, now there is a spot in this room. After you've talked to her, where you can come around behind her over here and go into hiding. However, as soon as you pickpocket her, she's going to notice you. And as soon as that happens, there's a chance that everyone here can go hostile. And I definitely do not want that to happen. So I'm going to save. I'm going to use Greater Invisibility. Okay. So this is a little bit different. But I'm still going to get ready to get myself out of here.
It's gonna pass.
She has the high security vault key number 7. And see, he's still invisible. That's the difference. Is that if I succeed that sleight of hand check, and it was a -20. So, it would have been really hard for me to fail that because it was only with a nat 1 and I have advantage. And if I passed the stealth check, which again was going to be really hard for me to fail with advantage and all of my bonuses, then I'm going to remain invisible. They will never know I was there and they will never get angry. Now with invisibility, as soon as you succeed that sleight of hand check, you drop out of invisibility. And at that point, they will see you and get angry. And again, there's a chance that they can go hostile down there because I'm pickpocketing with Astarion and not with somebody who can talk their way out of it. So I didn't waste. I used a Scroll of Greater Invisibility, which I don't normally use them for anything anyway, for that particular instance, so that I didn't have to worry about any negative consequences. So now I'm going to take everybody else back to camp. And now let's take stock of our keys again. Okay. So starting with the safe keys, we got number 1, 2, 3. Number 4, we're not going to get because the head clerk at the counting house has that. And when we go over there, we'll just pickpocket it then. Number 5 and number 6. Then number 7 and number 8. So that's all 8 of the safe keys. Then the vault keys. Number 1, we're not going to get until next week. That's Captain Grizzly and the Blushing Mermaid. Then number 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And that's all of the vault keys. Then the high security keys. Number 1, we're going to get next week. It's in Ramesses Tower. So when we go through all of that, we'll pick that up. Got number 2, 3, 4, 5. Number 6 is in the Iron Throne. And this is the one key that I'm willing to sacrifice here. it's a really hard key to get on honor mode because of the short amount of time that you have to be able to get back to that location. So we're going to try it, but if we don't get it, then we don't get it. But it's in the Iron Throne, and that's probably not going to be next week. It might be next week, but I think it's going to be the week after. Then we've got 7, 8, and 9 is only... It's given by the quest giver as a reward when we get into the counting house. So high security vault number 9 and counting house key safe key number 4, we will get inside the counting house itself. The others we're going to get next week. So we've collected all the keys now. It's the first time on a playthrough that we've done that. But through the various playthroughs here, you've now seen every one of those keys get collected. So we're going to bring... Actually, we're not.
Maybe we can help him. The prism, right? He should shut that tadpole up. If he doesn't kick our butts first. It's kind of his thing.
Okay, they were talking about Will there. So what we're going to do is we're going to take, or starting next week, we're going to take a long rest because we are completely out of action economy on some of our characters. We're going to take a long rest. We're going to get Jaheira respect and leveled up as a druid, and then we're going to head out and do a couple of things not with her in the party yet. We're going to go out, we're going to bring Karlach back in and do a couple of other things, most notably the hag fight and Ramesses Tower. Then we will come back here, we will grab Jaheira, and we will head into the counting house, and we're going to have a big fight in there. While we're there, we'll open up all of the vaults and safes that we can, and we should be 1 key short at that point. And we will then come back if we get the key from the Iron Throne and deal with that one later. So we're going to drop a save here. And as always, I want to say thank you for everyone for being here today. As always, I really enjoy all the interactions that I have with all of you. And I really enjoy all the support that you give me, because without your support, none of this would be possible. So this is Commander Jorval saying, until next time, fare thee well.